So let's just remind ourselves, shall we, of what we've seen so far. Nothing to separate City and Liverpool in the early kick-off on Saturday. A dramatic late comeback win for West Ham at Burnley. Luton getting only their second win of the season against Crystal Palace. Newcastle putting an emphatic end to Chelsea's encouraging recent run. Brighton winning a 5-goal thriller at Forest. Bournemouth also hitting 3 in their win at Sheffield United. And Arsenal going top after Kai Havertz's late winner at Brentford. As far as today's concerned, well, Villa moved into the top 4 after a backs-to-the-wall performance away to Spurs, with Manchester United just now inflicting more misery on Everton with a comfortable win in the end. And there's one game still to come, of course. That's on Monday night at the Cottage between Fulham and Wolves. So, as I touched upon, Arsenal's win against Brentford means that they lead the pack by a solitary point. Manchester City is second. It's then Liverpool and then Aston Villa, both 2 points off top spot. Tottenham dropping to 5th, 4 points off the summit. Manchester United up to 6th after today's win on 24 points, 4 adrift of the top 4, 6 off the leaders, the Newcastle, Brighton, West Ham and Chelsea. The bottom of the table, Burnley and Everton both on 4 points, 5 adrift of safety. With Sheffield United third bottom, 4 adrift, then it's Luton on 9 points, Bournemouth on 12. Fulham have the chance to extend their 7-point cushion on the bottom 3, followed by Forest, Palace, Wolves, who are to play, and then Brentford.
Bruno, Alejandro, before we talk about his goal, Bruno, just how big a win was this for Manchester United? Difficult place, Everton in tough times, but you came here, got that result.
No, it's always tough to play against Everton. They're a really good team, very direct, strong. They have good players on the ball, but I think our performance was really good. I think at moments we could play a little bit more in the last 20 minutes of the first half, but we did the job.
Your performance, what about his performance?
So I give him a good note just for the goal, but that's just because he knows I have big expectations for him. He's a great player, he has a great future. He's not a great player yet, but he has a great future ahead. But we expect a lot from him. He knows that. Even more me, he knows I'm going to always be behind him, asking for more. But obviously, amazing goal, not for everyone.
Did you think you'd done it when it left your foot? Could you believe it had gone in?
I can't believe, to be honest. Yes, I did, and I didn't see how I scored. Just I listened the round, and I said, "Oh my God!" But yeah, for me, one of the best goals I scored, of course, and I'm very happy.
It could well be one of the best of this season.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's still November, but it's a good goal. Yeah.
It was such a good goal, and I think it just took everybody's breath away. You silenced the crowd.
Yeah, obviously a goal like this has to silence the crowd. I think even for the crowd, obviously Everton fans was not really happy about that, but I think they enjoy it to see these kind of things, and I think it's amazing for the football. Players like him can do this, and we are all proud of him. And obviously, I'm very happy to have him on my side.
You had the opportunity to take the penalty, your second goal. You gave that ball to Marcus. Why did you do that?
Oh, because Marcus, I felt that Marcus needed a little bit of confidence, needed his goal, and as Marcus is an excellent penalty taker too, I'm 100% sure that he could score that penalty. So it's not about to take it; it's about scoring the penalty, and Marcus did it perfectly.
Has his confidence taken a little bit of a hit? A lot of people have been talking about the fact he hasn't scored a lot for Manchester United this season.
No, I think it's obviously, strikers, wingers, they want to score goals, they need to score goals. That's part of their game, and it gives you more as a boost. I think after the penalty, Marcus was unstoppable. He could take on everyone. So I think sometimes you need this chance, this opportunity to get your confidence back. But Marcus is being great for us. Obviously, last season he was amazing, so everyone expectations for this season was higher. So it's just about getting his goals back, and everyone was still saying that he's world class again.
I know he's waiting for his award, but I just want to ask you about that togetherness, because I think that also showed the togetherness that you have at Manchester United.
I think we have this since the beginning of the season. Obviously, the results didn't show that, and you know that results are really important in football. And in these days, everyone is expecting you to win every game, even more at Man United. So it is what it is. But the togetherness is there. It's about getting the results back.
He's looking at me. He's waiting. Can you just give him his Player of the Match award, Bruno?
I don't think he deserves it, but take it.
Thank you.
For the goal. So you can
just
remember the goal.
Just the goal.
A great post-match interview from the pair of them. I love that little comment when he said, great player, maybe not, but good future.
Do you know what?
Just to keep him grounded.
But that's how kind of, I think Tim and I, when we came to you, when you did well to start, the older players were trying to keep you down. Not in a bad way, but they just want to keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
I think obviously for Alejandro Garnacho, I mean, the kid's a superstar. He's been a superstar since he kind of burst onto the scene. Sometimes he's more impactful when he comes from the bench, but I thought today, that moment, he just changed that whole game. And he has moments for a young man at 19 years old that are quite rare, actually. And he has this, he does have a superstar aura about him, you'd have to say.
Yeah, you made a great point earlier, Tim. To do it when you're... You're welcome. To make it with barely 3 minutes on the clock, you're barely into the contest.
Well, he's only a young man. I'm probably thinking I'm in my body at the moment, which wouldn't be possible. But at any stage of my career, 3 minutes into the game, it normally takes 10, 15 minutes for you to get into the game, let alone trying something so aerobatic as that. I mean, it was incredible technique as well and timing. I mean, the ball was very good from Dalot. I mean, switch of play comes. And this pass from Marcus is underestimated as well because he gives him no control problems. Like, a little weight of pass there, he just into his stride. And he just watches it, and now he's made his mind up. You know, he's made his mind up probably 2 seconds in. I'll probably tell you when. Now he's made his mind up. He's going to overhead kick that, and the technique is fantastic. It's just wonderful. I can only dream about scoring goals like that. I like the boy. I think he's got a personality. He's got a certain arrogance about him, which I like, and I think you need to play for Man United. You saw in his celebrations that, you know, the arrogance and the swagger about him. What I think the manager needs to do is stick with these young players, leave them in the team, give them the confidence. Look at the arrogance, look at the swagger of this boy. And I mean it in the nicest possible way. You know, I think he's got star quality to play on a regular basis and make a difference for Manchester United. But the manager has to trust them. Forget the money signings. Forget the guys who are not delivering. It doesn't matter how much you spend on a player. Look at the quality, look at the boys who want to play for you. Kobe comes in and was outstanding. Hannibal's played over the last few months, and I think when he's come in the team, he's done well. McTominay, who's an academy player, has pulled the club out of the mire on occasions, but certainly in that, was it the Brentford game, you know, when he comes off the bench. Stick with these boys, trust them. The academy boys are right under your nose. They care more. Give them the opportunity to play. Yeah, apart from the goal itself, and that'll be the main talking point from many people from that game, what about Garnacho's overall performance? Has he given Ten Hag something to think about? Because I know you like Rashford as a result on the right-hand side.
No, I love Marcus on the left. He's more effective there, but I'm saying for the balance of the team, I think having somebody that's right-footed on the right means that they can cross it. That goal only happens because Marcus holds the width. Dalot's a great passer of the ball, and I just think everything about that, the switch from Lindelof into Marcus into Dalot, that doesn't happen if Anthony's there, because Anthony's going to come inside on his left. So, you know, I think the football, this is kind of the football I think Ten Hag envisions, you know, and I think Dalot is such an underrated player. The timing of that's a City goal, really. You know, the run from it. Dalot's an underrated passer. He knows when he's there, I got to stand that up. Can't cross it or get cut out. Stands it up. And the thing is, if Marcus plays on the right, then Garnacho can play on the left.
Exactly.
You get Bruno playing as a number 10.
There's a better balance about the team.
Bruno played as on the right wing against Manchester City. Don't play him there. Put him as a number 10. Garnacho on the left, Marcus on the right, Højlund. Martial looked good through the middle today. You know, so I just thought the balance of the team, especially with Kobe Manu at the base of that midfield, you could play that kid the ball at any point in the game. So Harry Maguire looked great, Luke Shaw looked great.
There's plenty of positives.
Everybody looked better. Onana made some saves. So I think there was a lot of positives there.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Marcus playing out on the left-hand side in recent months because he hasn't had Luke Shaw getting around the outside and occupying the right back so he can come inside and bend that ball into the far corner. He hasn't had that, you know, so he's had to fight a lone battle out there. But I mean, the goal, we just cannot switch off that goal. That is an incredible goal, and only Wayne Rooney could score one like it.
It's funny you should say that. It's so reminiscent. I mean, the similarities are quite uncanny. I mean, this is back in February 2011. It's a goal we've all seen.
I'm having this
time and time again. You're having this one, are you?
I'm having this one because he has to check his run, you know, and he gets a deflection on the cross and he just adjusts his position. He watches that right into the top corner. When you see it from behind, look at Wayne's eyes here, like on the ball. He sees it right in there, and Mika Richards is following him as well. With his eyes, he cannot believe it, and that's the arrogance I'm talking about. That's what you need when you want to play for Man United.
So let's have a look then. At the moment, the ball hits the foot of both these players. I mean, that's extraordinary, isn't it? The timing of the jump, the distance from the goal, almost exactly the same. Actually, I think if you see Garnacho, I think he's going to try and look over his shoulder. Look.
It gets there quicker.
He does get a glimpse.
I think Garnacho's one flies in quicker. I mean, he strikes it better. Wayne's more off the shin, but it's still equally as good.
But he's set the standards now for himself, isn't he?
I think
Not that you can expect that most weeks.
No,
but...
you're not going to expect those moments. You want consistency from young players. That's hard. But I think since he's come to the side, he's produced the goods. And it's rare for a young kid to come in and have such an impact on a team like Manchester United. It's difficult. You know, we've seen even that with Phil Foden at Manchester City. No matter how good you are, at this level, it's hard to break into a top team and be consistent. And I think so far, in the short body of work that he's had, I think Garnacho's had a big impact on the side.
Yeah. And you know, they might not be at top level, Manchester United, as we mentioned already, but they're the form team right now
It's a good
after 6 games.
Well, it's a wonderful knack to have. You know, when you're not playing well and you're picking up points.
But did you think they could sustain that level?
No, I think it's a matter of time that then they won't. They have to pick up their level of performances. They have to be where they want to be. They did it last season. They started very slow and they picked up. They ended up picking up a trophy and finishing in the top 4. They would take that again, wouldn't they?
No.
And I just think they need to progress. And I'm not sure they're progressing. Let's face it. Man United are at their best when they're counter-attacking. They're still a counter-attacking side. When Ten Hag came, he said, we're going to control the games, we're going to control tempo. They're not doing that. There's nothing wrong with counter-attacking sides. When you've got people like Marcus, Garnacho, and the Bruno who sticks in that little sneak position, picks it up, he's got the vision. You know, Martial today, he stretched them in behind. You've got Højlund. They need width. They need the fullback to get forward, like Luke Shaw on the left-hand side. Need the likes of Marcus and Dalot on the right-hand side to deliver crosses. They can break. They're nice and solid. He keeps them nice and solid. They're not losing games. They're not giving anything away. And they're winning football matches. And they're not playing that well.
Well, we spoke